Get ready for the show. It's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns, so liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Monday to you, good people. What is going on? It is on and popping. Another week. One day closer to the start of the NFL. Another day in the continuation of the WNBA saga. And that's where we will begin our conversation tonight. I appreciate everybody in the room. As usual, Cody K, first out the limo. Daniel Berry Sports is in the building. David Enix, not sure I've seen your name before, man, but I appreciate you being here bright and early. Do not be a stranger. And you know what? I will start off with you right off the bat, saying you're not a huge Sides fan. Neither am I. I'm even less of one now since she protected Seattle coach. She should have exposed her comments to the media. Today, she should have petitioned the W to rescind Clark's T. Now, that I agree with. That I'm with you 100%, Dave. They need to appeal that tech because that was some bullshit. How you going to tech the girl because she frustrated and she bangs the padded part of the rim? That made no sense. Especially when you at home. Like, come on, man. We all know the refs is bad, but damn. Like, be a little bit reasonable. So, and I'm this is somebody, I'm a coach that when my players used to get mad and slam helmets and all of that kind of stuff, I would jump down their throat. But still, I'm not going to kick them out of the game and tell them they can't play. I'm not going to, and you at the professional level, if they get mad, they get mad. As many people throw water bottles and all the kind of tantrums and stuff they throw at the professional level, and they do throw tantrums. Don't get it twisted. Why is that such a big problem, man? I'm with you, man. Indiana needs to appeal that, and the WNBA should drop it because that's the bad look, man. Everybody these days are just soft, man. I need to do a show. I might have to put that in the lineup, man. I might have to do a show on how soft the WNBA and some fans are. It's not everybody, but it's some people, man. It's like y'all done got soft, like super soft, man. Because I remember. I did a post today. Like, I remember growing up seeing Reggie Miller score 8 points in 30 seconds and beat the Knicks, and then turned around in New York, looked at the Knicks bench and do like this. Y'all choked. That's the kind of basketball I grew up with. That's the kind of competition I grew up with. Playing football as Little League, in high school, in college. If you messed up, everybody on your team would clown you. And you just had to deal with it. Had to deal with it. The worst situation ever in my athletic life. Not the worst, but one of the worst. When I was in high school, I was a junior in high school, and we had a big game. And I got in the game, and I fumbled a sure touchdown. Just fumbled it. It was a good pitch, good play, hit me right in the chest, and I was nervous, and I fumbled. It was all on me. And I had to go that following Monday, I got to walk through the hallways at class and everybody throwing me dirty looks. And I had to eat that. I had to learn to deal with that. People not wanting to talk to me for a couple of days because I lost the game and all of that kind of stuff. That game would have taken us to the playoffs or had us in a better seeding. It was just when you were a junior in high school and you were a kid, you don't know how to deal with that. With everybody mad at you. Guess what? I still had to go to class. I still had to show up, get on the bus, and go to school and look everybody in the eye, my teachers, my classmates, my teammates, my coaches. Still had to look everybody in the eye, and they still had to deal with me. You got to learn that stuff, man. And it seems like these days, everybody is so damn soft. Like, where did that come from? Everybody is soft. I say this all the time. What's going on, JP? I say this all the time. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, but I go at it the hardest at Caitlin Clark fans who try to get mad if you say something critical about her game. Shit, the girl is about to break the all-time record in turnovers in the season, and you can't say nothing about it? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. I've been a coach. I've been a player. So I know what it is to be in that film room and you do everything good. You had a great game, but that one play you screwed up, man, they will rewind that. They will rewind that sumbitch about 30 times in film session to let you know, yeah, you did a lot of good things, but this one thing is what we're going to harp on. They do that on purpose. They do that so you never get too high on yourself. They rewind that damn thing 30-some times. You be like, Coach, I get it. I get it. But some of these fans are soft as marshmallow. You can't say nothing. And it ain't even about being critical. I'm talking about obvious game observations. I said this weeks ago. I said this like the first week of the WNBA. My big gripe with Caitlin Clark was she doesn't have a poker face. And when her opponent gets in her head and she's frustrated, everybody knows she's frustrated. If I was an opposing coach, I would try to attack that. And just like the other day, she's slamming seats and all of that kind of stuff. It's not the first time she's done that. That's my real only gripe with her. And the fact that she turns the ball over, but when you're a volume shooter and you handle the ball as much as she does, and they guard her the way that, they guard her, hey, it's going to happen. But the flip side of that is she lighting everybody up. She busting everybody's ass. So I just wish people just wouldn't get so damn soft. And when I saw that the other day with that whole altercation after the game with Noelle Quinn and Christie Sides, I was like, hold up. That can't be because Caitlin Clark was pumping up the crowd or something like that. And even if it was, she at home. You on your home court, and I'm sure they've been talking shit to her all night. That's the way it goes. Because I already know Caitlin Clark talked a lot of shit. Let's not get it twisted. But it's a big deal when you can back it up. And I'm quite sure that some of them females for Seattle was talking cash shit too. That's the way it goes at that level. I ain't got no problem with that. But at the end of the game, when you come out with the dub and you pumping up your crowd, even if it is in front of your bench, I got more respect for what Skylar Diggins did than what Noelle Quinn did. Bitching about some nonsense about pulling your starters out. I got more respect for Skylar Diggins because, like, oh, you going to hype it up, but you're not going to do that in front of my bench. So she kind of sped up and kind of tried to get in front of her. Didn't really help much, but hey, I appreciate the effort. You ain't going to rub it in my face. I understand that. So at least that part I understand, but what Noelle Quinn did, I was like, how you go, first of all, and I went back and I watched this. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring y'all into this. Crap. Hold on. There we go. So check this out. Right? So this is fourth quarter, and it was about 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the game. 1 minute, 17. So Damaris hits the jumper, and the Storm calls a full timeout because it's over. That put the game 92-74. It's a wrap. And you got a minute left. They're not coming back. Right? So it's a minute 17. Nika Moore comes in. Joyner Holm comes in. Mercedes Russell comes in. Vivians comes in. Whitcomb comes in. So they take all of their starters out. Right? Then I went back and watched the film on this one. Let me see. Will this let me do this? Nah, it won't. But anyways, so Indiana starters get back on the court. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark. I think Lexie Hull was still in there. And who was the other one? Was it Wheeler? Katie Lou. Anyways, but they go back in the game, and immediately Kelsey Mitchell turns around because you could tell Christie Sides must have hollered at her or something. And Christie Sides was like, get off the court, get off the court. And then they start walking off the court. Caitlin Clark was like, what's going on? And you see Kelsey Mitchell go to Caitlin Clark and explain, and you can literally see Caitlin Clark go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And they get off the court. And then that's what Noelle Quinn was bitching about after, to the point, because immediately after the game, when they go to shake hands, Christie Sides, immediately she apologizes. Immediately. And I'm like, okay. The point of contention that I have is after Christie Sides apologizes, then Noelle Quinn decides that she wants to go in on her. She wants to, I got to get it off first. And I'm like, nah. The girl apologized. Clearly it was a mistake because she rectified it. And it wasn't like they was going in trying to dunk on them and just rain more threes. Like, nah. Like, don't do that. Like, don't try to go in on somebody. Now you just trying to be mad just to show everybody that you mad. Like, stop bitching. Don't get mad, get better. That's what I say. That was, and like I said, I got more respect for what Skylar Diggins did than what Noelle Quinn did. Because what Noelle Quinn did starting that argument, to me, that was unnecessary. You got to back up and start pointing fingers and all. Like, get out of here with that. That was nonsense. It was unnecessary. And then you go in the press conference. Now, this is the one thing. This is across the board. And this is the one thing I don't begrudge the players. Because anybody, Dave, SC, Angel Perez, Stafford, how old are you guys? I'm 54. How old are you guys? I was around. I mean, I was good and grown when I watched Tiger Woods in his prime. And if you watch Tiger Woods when he first came on the PGA, when he first started, when he became Tiger Woods, he was bigger than Jordan. He was bigger than Kobe. He was the biggest star in the world. And the reason why I'm saying that is because after every event, after every PGA event, all the reporters would go up to other golfers and say, Angel, you know what I'm talking about if you're 57. All the reporters would go up to other golfers, regardless of what kind of round they played. And the first thing they say is, did you see what Tiger Woods did? What do you think about Tiger Woods? And they're like, yo, I just played the best round of my career, and you asking me about somebody else. That's what these reporters are doing, because you got to remember, everything has to go through the internet first. It doesn't go to the paper. It doesn't go to the magazines first. Everything has to get fed through Twitter. So everybody's looking for that viral angle. So Seattle just gets their ass busted. Jewell Loyd is sitting on the in the press conference, and somebody asks her about the rookie development of Caitlin Clark, and it's like, don't ask her no shit like that. Not after the game, because when, in my opinion, when reporters do that, they're looking for trouble. They're looking to start something. And I don't begrudge Jewell Loyd for her reaction with that. I ain't got no problem with that. That's media driven, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Seattle got busted. Wouldn't nobody be complaining if Seattle would have won that game? I know that. Facts. Dave, big facts, brother. Big facts. It's few and far between where you can talk your talk and then back it up. And as much as I don't I'm not a big fan of Diana Taurasi because I think she's a dirty player. But don't get it twisted. I'm not going to disrespect her game. She can still put up points. She can still drop. The beginning of the year, she had a game where she dropped 7 threes. She can still get it done. I ain't got to be a fan of hers to respect her game. It is, some people you like, some people you don't. But if you can talk the talk and back it up, what you going to do? Asia Wilson, she the best in the game. Point, period, end of paragraph. And you got some. Jewell Loyd is one of my favorite players. Arike, one of my favorite players. Kelsey Plum, one of my favorite players. Jonquel Jones in New York, Sabrina Ionescu. They my favorite players. They my top 5 players. All of them talk smack. All of them. Everybody talk smack. Everybody bitch about the refs. There's not a game in the WNBA where veterans will be walking down the court like, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. Call the effing foul. Happens every time. Didn't Diana Taurasi just get teed up for that? This ain't nothing new. I don't mind joy and spiciness. What I don't like is size backing down. I mean, it is what it is. That's a personality issue, and I'm not going. You got to be careful with that. And I bring this up. I brought this up 2 or 3 times before. Monica McNutt brought this up way back when Kennedy Carter checked Caitlin Clark. Everybody was like, where are her teammates? And Monica McNutt made an excellent point. She said, if you are not that type of personality where you're going to just throw hands at the drop of a hat, that's not a switch you can just flick. And all of a sudden, you big and bad and you ready to drop them. Christie Sides ain't like that. Now, I understand a lot of people didn't like what Noelle Quinn was talking about when she was born in L.A. and, gangster and all of that kind of stuff. I understood what she was saying. And the problem I have is you got them people out there. Anytime somebody black will say something like that, everybody got something to say. Thug behavior and all, like, man, shut up. Because you don't understand the culture. So don't even go there. And it puts people in the crossfire for the wrong reasons. But a lot of this bullshit that you see in the WNBA, in my opinion, is media created. I consider myself part of the media with the content I do. It is what it is. This is the landscape that we operate in right now. Don't agree. It's immaturity, retaliation. Like the WNBA has a huge problem with players and coaches, top to bottom. Honestly, Angel, I do not think so. Now, let me explain this. Let me give you some context. I did have that point of view early in the season. I did. And after about the 8th or 9th game, I was like, yeah, this is some bull. And it does look like they're coming at Caitlin Clark. And here's what I did. I went back and I watched highlights from 2023, 2022, 2021, 20. I went all the way back to Candace Parker's rookie year. And I saw how they was getting down then. No, it is no different. It is not retaliation. It's none of that. My biggest thing, in my opinion, all of this stuff could be quelled a little bit if the refs were good refs. I blame most of this, all of these problems and the assaults on Caitlin Clark. I even hate when people say that. Assault. Every time somebody does something to Caitlin Clark, it's assault and they acting like thugs. Like, man, shut up. Like, y'all act like y'all ain't never played sports before. Like, stop playing with me. Sports is what makes people, you got to deal with that person. You got to deal with that bully. You got to look them in the eye and say, hey, I'm coming right back at you. I got to go down the lane. I got to run the ball again. I'm coming in this hole, and I know you're going to be there. Somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. That's what sports teaches you, and it ain't always fair. It is what it is. So in my opinion, Angel, I understand what you say. I don't agree with it, but I think the biggest issue with the WNBA is the refs not blowing the damn whistle, because a lot of these fouls, and this is across the board, this is not specifically with Caitlin Clark. This is with every team. Every game I've watched, the refs are god-awful. They are extremely inconsistent, and it's not even funny. They will swallow the whistle on one play, and they'll call some ticky-tack BS on the other side. And it doesn't make sense to me. They'll be going down there, and they'll slow it up, and you'll see the grabbing somebody's arm and all of that kind of stuff, and they don't call nothing. And then you get whacked upside of the head and you on the floor and they'll let the play keep going. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand. They got to be able to see it. And I'm trying to figure out what is the memo from Kathy Engelbert's desk that lets these refs get away with this, because it is horrible. Anytime the NBA refs look better than the WNBA refs, that's a problem. The best refs in basketball right now are the NCAA refs. And that's saying something. That's saying something. Yeah, 13-year-old bully girl was ridiculous. You know what I likened it to? And I was trying to figure out a way to say this without sounding. Just thinking when your spouse gets mad at you, when they come at you fussing that you didn't take the trash out, but you already took the trash out. That's what that seemed like to me. She was so gung-ho on being mad about something. And then when Christie came out and immediately apologized to diffuse the situation, she was like, oh, I got to go in. I got to get it off. That's what it seemed like to me. It was unnecessary. I don't care if it was, if you mad at Caitlin Clark celebrating in front of your bench, she at home. And if you was at home, you would do the same thing, and you can't control your players. A great example is go back and look at a game earlier. You look at the situation between Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Cloud. Look at the situation that happened between them, and they was about to throw down. Kelsey Mitchell like shoved her, like, what you want to do? And Natasha Cloud stepped with her and stepped into her face, and Kelsey Mitchell pushed her back like, if we gonna do it, let's do it. And then they had to separate them and all like that. And that was the real situation, because that could have came to blows easily. But immediately after the game, I don't know how many people caught this. Immediately after that game, Kelsey Mitchell went right up to Natasha Cloud and they hugged it out. They hugged it out, dapped it up, and they were gone. That's how you're supposed to do it. When you end them lines in this game time, it's all about business. Once it's over, my bad. You got me. Whatever you gonna say. And you let it go until the next time. But everybody is so damn soft. I'm not going to get so upset if somebody fouls hard on Caitlin Clark. I remember the first foul she took when they played New York and she wasn't looking. And Breanna Stewart set that scream and she hit her like a brick wall. And I was like, well, you better keep your head on the swivel. That wasn't an assault. That's a rookie taking her lumps. She's supposed to do that. And they're supposed to play her hard. And they're supposed to foul her hard. That happens on every level in every sport. If you the franchise coming in, if you the number one person, the number one draft pick, everybody is gunning for you. It's the same way in MLB. It's damn sure the same way in the NFL. People would oh my God, if you were like a top draft, if you were first round pick DB, again, I'm in Philadelphia. So for those that don't, I'm a former Eagle. So when I go to Eagles practice, Quinyon Mitchell, our number one pick, AJ Brown is like, I want the rookie because I'm going to test him to see if he's ready, to see if he's worthy of that first round pick. That's the way it goes. When you're number one, you got the target on your back. And she's been taking it. She's been taking all the physical play and all that kind of stuff. And the problem is the optics of it are not good. The optics of it are not good. But when I went back and looked at the tape from previous seasons, I was like, okay, this is status quo. So they're not going after Caitlin Clark. That was not the case. They just play a physical game. The problem is the NBA is so soft now that we're not used to physical play no more. So I'm with you, SC. She got the home crowd going. And let's not forget, man, Seattle's a damn good team. They're 17-10. Or they was 16-9 last night. So that's a good team. That's a good win. You know, they were struggling, and all of a sudden Lexie Hull gets red hot. And that's another thing we're going to talk about, because Lexie Hull, what she did was just unprecedented. It was ridiculous. That was a career game for her. Yeah, but it is what it is. I ain't like, I expect that type of stuff. I don't expect everybody to be happy with the situation. Some people answer, because what it comes down to is you got to put yourself in that situation. Would you have answered the same way? If you was up on that podium and they asked you a question and you were the losing team or you were the winning team, I could understand. You're going to feel some kind of way depending on how things went down. That's just the way it goes. So I don't mind that. Like I said, the press conferences now is so geared towards social media and everybody's looking for a viral moment that like people are chomping at the bit, and it gets cringe sometimes. Like straight up. It's like, you didn't have to ask that question and it ain't got nothing to do with it. And it, like I said, it's the Tiger Woods effect and it pisses people off. So, come on, JP, you stupid, man. Stop. Stop, dog. No, she shouldn't have. But I understand. That's my point. I understand. I've seen situations where you go, hell, let me bring it to the NFL. Let's go back to, y'all remember what T.O. did in Dallas? When T.O. was in Dallas and he did when he was with San Fran and did the thing at the Star. And then who was that? Larry Allen came and tackled him and it started a brawl. So I understand that. I understand Skylar Diggins saying, like, all right, yeah, but you ain't gonna do it in my face. Like, I get that. I didn't say it was right, but I understand. Everybody done been through that situation, whether you are a player, whether you are a coach, you done watched your kids play. There's always some kid with some parents that don't ever shut up. Even when they lose and they don't shut up, all they want to talk about is what their kid did. Y'all just lost by 15 points. Yeah, but my kid hit all the 3-pointers, and you can't get away from it. That's part of the game. It's the bad part of the game, but that's part of the game. Absolutely. At least Jewell Loyd was consistent. At least she was consistent. But you got to be able to, I don't even know what to say anymore. You got to be able to be a professional about it. Because now, especially, and I guess let's just say that, and I think this might be the underlying situation with the WNBA. I don't think the WNBA was ready for this leap in popularity. They asked for it, but they weren't ready for it. Because when you become mainstream like NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, when you become mainstream like the other sports, you got to play the game. And the game is not fair. And that's what they're learning right now. They're learning that the money flows with the hot hand. And the hot hand is Caitlin Clark. They saw it coming, but you heard all the comments, Taurasi and all them girls from UConn. Well, she needs grace and she's going to be going up against some grown women. Guess what? She ain't hype. When she putting up the stats that she putting up, that's not hype. That's the real deal. She backing it up. Angel Reese backing it up. I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't think Angel Reese was going to be this good. But you can't tell me they letting her get 20 rebounds a game. Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. That girl down there balling, she is the Dennis Rodman of the W right now. Because she is not the biggest. She can't jump the highest. The only thing she's doing is out hustling everybody under the rim. And it's funny, everybody talking about the double-doubles don't mean nothing. And you know what? I'm seeing like 4- and 5-year veterans getting their first double-double and everybody making a big deal of it. This girl had 20 rebounds the other night. Yes, it was in a loss, but guess what? You do what you got to do for your squad. So I mean, hey, I love all the players, man. Jewell's my favorite. Jewell's one of my top 5, man. I'm sorry. Jewell is the truth. CC hyping the crowd, not a problem. Skylar bumping CC, I have no issue with since CC was in front of their bench hyping the crowd. I agree 100%. But then don't turn around and cry about it. Yes, I agree 100%. I'm with you. Not going to stop nothing, but I agree 100%, bro. VVS, can't force people to be confrontational when they're naturally not like that. Absolutely. Nobody's just going to flip on a switch. Can't do it. Technically you're correct, but you already know it don't work out that way. Because I tell people this all the time. No, you're absolutely right. You shouldn't have physical contact, but she did. Now what? Kennedy Carter knocked Caitlin Clark to the ground, and it was a cheap shot. She shouldn't have done that, but she did. Now what? Once it happens, what you gonna do? You can't keep telling me, "Oh, she shouldn't have done that." Well, but she did. So now what? How you gonna react to it? What happens going forward? Don't tell me what it should be. I'm only dealing with what happened. People on Twitter like, hey, only we can yell at Christie Sides. Yeah. Christie Sides is an interesting situation, man. Because I'm of the opinion that they should get another coach. But what do you do if she goes in the second round of the playoffs? What do you do if she goes in the second or third round? Like what? That's an interesting situation. So, let me see. I'm behind, man. Y'all chat is on fire tonight, bro. I'm okay with what Quinn said in the interview. Her and her players' actions on the floor was what is unacceptable. You're a professional coach and players. High school is over. Play better. Huh? Quinn said, oh, okay. I got you. So Quinn is saying her and her players' actions on the floor during the game. Gotcha. 100%. I agree. Keep it on the floor. They busted our ass, and we was mad about it. And don't get mad, get better. That's my phrase. So yeah, 100% with that, Dave. Bruh, the only thing these refs have been consistent at this year is their inconsistency. That's it. We on the same wavelength, bro. I want to see Nika too. Handing me my water. Didn't like. I didn't think Quinn was trying to get her a T. I'm still trying to figure out why they called that tech on Caitlin Clark. I didn't think it was deserved. Yeah. Yeah, and the funny part is, man, everybody gonna get got. That's gonna happen, man. When you at this level, everybody gonna have a day. The Indiana was getting their ass busted at the beginning of the year, and you know what? Now turnabout is fair play because you know what? Wasn't nobody giving them any excuses because they had a crazy schedule and played 11 games in like 17 days or something, whatever it was. 11 games in 20 days, ridiculous schedule. And they suffered for it, but they got it together and they done turned it around. So wasn't nobody crying for them at the beginning. So I'm not crying for any of these other teams that got the same type of schedule because everybody get a turn. Not to mention a lot of y'all coming back from the Olympics, y'all tired, y'all fatigued. And it's going to take y'all a week to kind of get it together. Jet lag is a real thing, and it's a bitch. That jet lag ain't no joke. You think you over it, but you not. I said this in the beginning with Indiana. I was like, Caitlin Clark need to make a call with one of these companies that make those O2 chambers that LeBron and them use, them oxygen chambers that oxygenate your blood and all that kind of stuff, helps you recover faster. I was like, I'd have been on the phone day one with that, especially with that schedule that they had in the beginning, because they was running them ragged. Yeah, but Kalia Copper, she a hothead, so she is what she is. Like, these players are what they are, and you deal with them. Kalia Copper's a hothead. She done proved that twice. You know what I mean? She's kicking the ball at the ref. She slams the ball at Nigeria in the Olympics. Just not a good look. So she is what she is. She's also a baller. So she has a little bit longer leash than most players. And people not afraid to let her know she out ahead. The same way with Caitlin, the same way with Angel, the same way with Lissa Thomas and anybody else. But half the reason why people get so up in arms with the shit with Caitlin Clark is because she's got the most eyes on her, period. That's what it comes down to. She got the most eyes on her. And let's be real. And I think people keep forgetting this. And I kind of went back and forth with some Indiana fans about this. I'm like, Caitlin Clark is not your best scorer. That's Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is shooting 37% from three, 37.5 to be exact. Caitlin Clark is only like 32. Kelsey Mitchell is shooting 49% from the floor. Or no, 44% from the floor. Caitlin Clark is only shooting 40. Kelsey Mitchell is your best scorer on that team. Now, Caitlin Clark has figured out how to facilitate and all of that kind of stuff. But don't get it twisted. Look at the stats. Kelsey Mitchell is coming up big because just like when she was at Iowa, if Kate Martin and Hannah Stokey wasn't putting the ball in the bucket, Iowa was in trouble. Iowa had to battle. But there was a couple of games like that, and they got exposed. And in my opinion, if Lexie Hull doesn't do what she does in that game, Seattle beats them. When's the last time Lexie Hull caught fire like that? Not never. So now here's the question with Lexie Hull. Can she do it again? Now, I don't expect her to go 6 for 7 from three. I don't expect that. But can we expect, I don't know, 10, 12 points? Is that reasonable? Is that a reasonable request after you done dropped 22? So is that another room, another door for offense for Indiana? Because everybody knows they still guarding Caitlin Clark crazy. And she manages to find a way to get it to Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is draining them threes. And plus, Kelsey Mitchell can get to the rack faster than anybody else, arguably in the league. There's only a couple people, in my opinion, that are more explosive than Kelsey Mitchell. Arike is one. Jewell is close. I would put I would put Kelsey Plum and Ionescu, maybe Jackie Young and Kyle Copper. It's not too many, and that whoever would be top 1 through 5, that order would change. But Kelsey Mitchell is one of the most explosive in the league. So she can break your ankles and go by you. And she got that long, one-handed scoop. You think she's going to dribble it, but she don't. She just keep it out there and scoop it up. A lot of times she coming in too hot and the ball comes off the rim and they don't convert. But most of the time she hitting those shots. So, that's a good point, VBS. That's a good point. No media training at all. None. And that goes back to my point. Maybe you said that when I brought up the point about them not being ready to be mainstream. Because I don't think they understood what being mainstream is. When Kennedy Carter checked Caitlin Clark, I don't think Kennedy Carter or Angel Reese was ready for what mainstream does. When the paparazzi are waiting for you when you get off the bus to ask you dumbass questions. Did you call Caitlin Clark and apologize? Man, if you don't get up out of here with that nonsense, I can't blame that. I mean, they're supposed to have security, and I'm sure security was there, but let's keep it 100. They were not expecting that. They weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for no paparazzi. They haven't been in, the WNBA hasn't been in the situation where you got folks following you to dinner, trying to ask you questions when you can't, you got to have security keep people out, or you got to tell a restaurant like, hey, you got a private room for us. Like, they've never had to deal with that. Maybe a couple of players, but for the most part, other than, you know, Candace Parker, or maybe if you want to go back when Cheryl Swoops and all of them were coming out and they were big, they were crazy high from the Olympics back then. They was on Martin and on the TV shows, and because social media didn't exist. Being on YouTube didn't exist. So if you were on the number one sitcom and you were playing Martin in a game of basketball, that was huge. Everybody saw that. So maybe it was like that back then. But this modern WNBA, they ain't ready for nothing like that. Hell, it's the kids in college that's getting treated like that with the NIL stuff. Kate Beckers is coming in with more gravitas than some of these people in the W. Juju Watkins is coming in with more gravitas. So it's interesting to see what Kathy Engelbert is going to do going forward, because clearly they wasn't ready for a lot of this. And it's showing. They cracks in the armor, draft night. I've never seen anything with them working, the WNBA social media team working with these athletes' social media. Caitlin Clark got 2 million followers on Instagram. Angel Reese got 3 million. And they never partnered up with the WNBA and did anything. That didn't make sense to me. But they ain't never been in that situation. And here's another problem. I can't assume, because I'm used to seeing the NBA social media team. I'm used to seeing the NFL social media teams. Maybe the WNBA ain't got one, or at least they don't have a big one. So they can't be at every stadium. They don't make enough money to pay somebody in every WNBA city. So we got to remember that they might not have some processes in place to be able to capitalize that. They're just getting to the point. They was losing $25 million a year. It wasn't really 50 that was reported earlier. The 50 came when they finally got the airport deals, the private planes. And the only reason the private planes had to come, they had to do the private planes. They didn't want to do. They had to do the private planes because with Caitlin Clark coming on the scene, it was a security issue. They had to do that. So they just took the L. That's why it's 50 million. But they're going to make that back with the media rights deal. They're going to make that back with the media rights deal. They got a lot more money to play with. So what are they going to do? What are they going to bump up first? The salaries? We still haven't done the CBA yet. The collective bargaining agreement gets re-ratified next year. So that is where they argue, how much money are we going to make? How many? That's where all of the changes, all of this stuff that the women have been clamoring for, better pay and all of that kind of stuff. This is where that comes into play. And they still not going to make as much money as they think. Because just like they got more money, the costs go up too. I'm trying to look through some of these. I'm behind. Yeah, Kelsey, definitely a shooting guard. Caitlin makes it easy for Kelsey to score with her spacing and passing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think my buddy Kev the PRF is in here, but we used to have conversations in the chat because a lot of people didn't think that Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark could coexist. And I'm like, yes, the hell they can. Kelsey Mitchell needs somebody to get her the ball in open space. Caitlin Clark can do that because every time she drives the lane, defenses collapse. They got to come down to guard her. So I agree with that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Lexie Hull, she got to, if not for nothing, it's a big confidence boost. So we'll see how they guard her. We'll see if Christie Sides goes to her a lot more. So we'll see what happens with that. Stafford 100%, and it was not like that in the beginning. If you saw what I saw, it took a while for them to mesh. It took a while for Caitlin Clark to figure out what she was supposed to do. And it took a while for everybody else to figure out what they were supposed to do around her. Because I still don't like Christie Sides X's and O's. Everybody and their mama know they're going to run that pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston at the top of the key. Everybody knows that. And they're getting better at stopping it. So they got to come up with something else. So thank you, JP. Definitely. Cody K said this as well. Definitely hit that subscribe button and click that like. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was good stuff, man. They got to try to make it, they got to produce a little bit. We talked about this the other night after the game the other night, Jar Jar. I don't know, man. I hope not. I don't know if most of you all know. I've said this many times before, but Kelsey, I'm a fan of Kelsey Mitchell because that's a personal thing. Kelsey's father passed away last year. He was a good friend of mine. He was my fraternity brother. He's the reason I went to college. So with her, it's personal. She went to my high school, and she's from my hometown, Cincinnati. So I started watching WNBA because of Kelsey Mitchell. So it's personal with her. So I always want to see the best for Kelsey Mitchell, regardless of what happens. You'll never hear me trash Kelsey Mitchell. Not going to happen. I can be critical, like a coach, but some of the stuff that people say and how they talk about other players and stuff like that, nah, we ain't disrespecting Kelsey. Not happening. Do I think she'll leave Indiana? I hope not. We talked about this the other day, and my question is, do you take the bag or do you want to win? Kelsey Mitchell's been in Indiana her whole career, and she hasn't sniffed the playoffs. This will be the first year that they'll probably make the playoffs. So the question that gets asked at the end of the year, depending on how they end up, do you go for the bag? Because Kelsey Mitchell is going to get a lot of money, going to get good money based on the raise they're about to get because of the media rights money in the CBA. And she is a known quantity and will be a sought-after free agent. So it is either going to be up to Indiana to pony up and pay her, or she going to go somewhere else and get paid. But it all depends on where she goes. Will she end up in New York? Because she's been in the league long enough to know what losing is. Now she want to know what winning is. And she's going to get her first taste of winning this year. If they keep doing what they're doing, Indiana's going to end up with a winning record. And then however it plays out in the playoffs, you got to ask yourself as a player. I see this in football. I see this in the NBA a lot. As a player, are you going for the money or do you want to go somewhere else that can win? I talk about that a lot being here in Philadelphia. And ever since the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, we are a destination team. You have veterans from other teams that want to come here, play their last years here. We got one more shot. I want to be with a playoff team. That's what Indiana is now. Now that Caitlin Clark has come to town, everybody wants to play with her. Not only for the fact that she's a good player, but also she can make you some extra scratch off the court. Caitlin Clark is going to have endorsement deals, and I say this all the time. She can't make all the commercials. She can't sign all the deals. So there's going to be some fall off, some trickle down effect if you on the same team. You might be in the background of a State Farm commercial or something like that. That's how it works. That's how it works. You'll be surprised at people that have mediocre careers, but they are staples in the town that they are in or that they played for. And not necessarily a mediocre career, but they're not the Pro Bowl player. They've just been somebody that's been on the team consistently for 5 to 8 years, and they play special teams or whatever it is they do, but everybody in that media market knows who they are. You can make a damn good living like that. And now you got that opportunity if you play with Caitlin Clark. So there's other things at play just besides what goes on the court. Not to mention, Indiana is not an expensive place to live, and the average salary in the WNBA is about to go up. What they getting paid now, what the rookies getting paid now, I would hate to be a rookie in New York and in LA. Worst places to be a rookie because they don't pay you a lot of money, and the cost of living in New York is ridiculous, and the cost of living in LA is even worse. So if you're a rookie and you in with the Sparks or you with the Valkyries, the new expansion team that's coming out in a couple years, you better hope that the pay is commensurate with that, because it's woof. It's gonna be crazy. Give Kelsey Christie Sides salary. You know what? Erica Wheeler's probably going to be gone. Saxton's probably going to be gone. Wallace is probably going to be gone. Berger, I'm curious about. I got to go and look up some. I got to go watch her when she was at Indiana U. I want to see how she played, because there's a lot of hype. And I'm like, did they draft her thinking that she would put butts in seats? And she ain't even playing. Because is she another version of Celeste Taylor? Celeste Taylor goes somewhere else. She looking all right. And I say it's amazing what happens when somebody gives you an opportunity to play. Now, this is the one I'm not a big fan of Cheryl Reeve, the Olympics coach and the head coach of Minnesota. But you look at Cheryl Reeve, you look at Becky Hammond, you look at Sandy, is it Brodello, the girl from New York, the Australia. I think she's Australian. She's the Australian or New Zealand. But there's some people on that bench that don't play. And Christie Sides seems like she's like dead set on making sure everybody gets in the game. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Erica Wheeler, it's been getting better with Erica Wheeler because her times have been going down, getting less and less. And it was like, come on, man. Come on. So I don't like when they get a big lead and then Christie Sides pulls everybody out the game. And it's like, no, put your foot on the gas and break their neck. Like, I hate that. They did that against New York and then did it again against Phoenix. They had big leads in both games and blew the lead in both times. And both times they had to scrap to come out with that dub. When you had like a 20, 30-point lead. That's crazy. I don't understand. I mean, I get it, but it's like, nah. Yeah, dude. It's that's bad. Everybody knows it's coming, so they got to do something different. And that's where I think Christie Sides, she's a little I mean, I can't say inexperienced. She knows what she wants to do. I just think X's and O's, there are other coaches that will outcoach her. There are other coaches that will double team Caitlin Clark and say, okay, somebody else make a shot. And when Indiana, and that's why I ain't got hair on my head now. Indiana will run that play where they just pass the ball around, and for whatever reason, it'll be like 5 or less seconds left on the shot clock, and Alyssa Smith will have the ball and end up shooting. And I'm like, she's not the one you want shooting. I like Aaliyah Boston, but I don't want her shooting a 3-point shot. That's the X's and O's stuff that I think coaches can take advantage of Christie Sides, and it don't matter what kind of player you got. If you can keep it close and you can force somebody else to take the shot. Heck, I was firing off fireworks in the Twitter feed because Caitlin Clark hit a mid-range shot. I was like, where did this come from? Please may I have another. She was like actively avoiding. You know what? I like Dantas. To me, Dantas is not in game shape. That's my opinion. I think Dantas is a good player. For her to do what she's doing, she's got a pretty sweet jumper. She can hit a 3, and she can get up and get a rebound. She's a big body. I just think she's a little out of shape, in my opinion. So I don't know what happened to her, but I like Dantas. I think she's a pretty decent player. I just think I would be interested to see what she would look like coming in fresh. So, and of course, I'm a big fan of Tammy Bentley. I can't wait. I'm like, what the hell did she do to her finger? Did she break it in 3 places or something? I don't know what. I'm like, she needs to be on the court because Tammy Bentley at 6'4", 6'5", or however tall she is, that girl can run the court. That girl can run. So we'll see. That's the question, man. I don't know. What does Christie Sides have to do to keep her job? Second or third round in the playoffs? They're going to make it to the playoffs. I honestly think it's going to come down to going forward. If they lose games, it's how they lose games. Because I'm not going to sit here and say all the games that they've lost is Christie Sides' fault. Because there's a couple games where Indiana couldn't hit water at a beach. And they were missing. You already know my biggest complaint. Every time I do a live stream of a game, immediately I go, how many shots did y'all miss in the paint? And that's usually the key. Even the other night, 22 points missed in the paint. 22 points. And you got somebody that's 6'5" playing down low, and they not making shots in the paint. If I was in Indiana, every piece of free time I got, I would have Alyssa Smith shooting 6 to 10 foot jumpers right in front of the basket. This is where you take your shots. Don't go out to the free throw line. Don't go out to the 3-point line. You stay right here, 10 feet in below. You make all of these shots. That's your shot. Develop a little baby hook. Her and Aaliyah Boston should have a baby hook in their arsenal, and they don't. And I don't understand that. And every time Aaliyah Boston gets the ball down low and she has to dribble, it's a problem. And they run that play, and sometimes they'll pick and roll, and Aaliyah Boston will get the ball at the maybe 1 foot past the free throw line. It's like she ain't going to do nothing with that because she's going to have to dribble. And if she has to dribble, the percentages go down drastically. She need to get the ball, keep it high, and go right back up. What's up, Aquaman? Storm coach being a bully. She was trying to be. She just looked like she was bitching, if you ask me. It's everybody, man. Everybody, but it's we talked about that, man, and it's like I felt she was wrong. I felt she was just in her feelings and wanted to bitch about something. They got beat. They was feeling some kind of way. Caitlin Clark was pumping everybody up in front of their bench, and she was feeling some kind of way. And I'm like, hey, don't get mad, get better. Make the playoffs and just don't get swept. That's what's going to keep Christie Sides her job. That's fair enough. Yeah. And here's my thing: if they suspend her, what game? What they gonna do with that? That's gonna hurt the WNBA. That's gonna hurt the league. That's not gonna hurt anybody else. That's why they need to go ahead. Indiana need to go ahead and appeal that text that she got the other day. Go ahead and appeal it because that was some nonsense. Yeah, Sheila, I'm with you 100%. Wheeler's. I think Wheeler's days are done. Wheeler must have been a good player at one point in time because she's been to many All-Star games. But Berger and Wallace got to be up out of there. But I am interested. I am interested to see if Berger can play. What I've seen from her, I wasn't crazy about, but that's too small of a sample size. I need to see something. That's why I said I want to go back and watch some of her footage when she was at Indiana. They're gonna make the Caitlin Clark rookie. Who gonna play Caitlin Clark? SC, I agree with you, but there's been mediocre coaches that achieve great success because they got a great player. A lot of people think that way with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has not done a damn thing since Tom Brady left. Think about that. Ain't did a damn thing. So, who was his Tom coach? Someone else replied to me on Facebook that the team better not get him to replace Sides. I insisted Sides should be gone. Tom? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, Aquaman. Tom, I'm going to look into that. I don't know who it is. If you know who that is in the chat, put it in the chat. I'm not sure who they're referring to. I don't know, man. That's the biggest issue right now, in my opinion, with the W right now. All of this mess, all of these bad optics about physical play and people going after Caitlin Clark and all of that kind of crap. I think all of that could be settled down if the refs just called fouls like they should call fouls. Because you gonna think twice about trying to foul somebody hard if you already got 3 fouls on you or 4 fouls on you, and it's still the first half. So you just by doing what you're supposed to do would ease up some of the tension about like what's going on. It's like if you're gonna foul a girl hard, I understand that, but at least let her get her free throw shots. If you're gonna come down on her, put her on a free throw line. So, but they're not doing it. Some of the stuff that it just don't make sense. And again, it's not Caitlin Clark. I've seen Caitlin Clark get slammed to the ground, no call. I saw Kelsey Plum. The girl tried to grab her and slung her around, literally twisted her around 180, and they let the play go all the way back to the other end of the court. And I don't think they ever called anything. Like stuff like that happens all the time. And it's like, well, what the hell are y'all looking at? If someone physically grabs you, that's a foul. If somebody smacks you in the arm, if Jonquel Jones goes up for a layup and they grab her arm and then grab the ball, that's a foul. But they don't call it. And I don't understand it because it's not even like it's a close call. They're obvious calls. Obvious. And to me, it's a bad look on the W. So maybe these refs, they'll get rid of these refs and start paying refs a little bit more, and maybe they'll get better officiating. I don't know. Nah, I don't agree with that, Aquaman, because that's the problem now. They're not calling fouls. So everybody just going ham. The closest thing to doing what they were supposed to do was when Alyssa Thomas slammed Angel Reese and they kicked her out of the game. That's what you're supposed to do. But all of the other shit that they let go has been absolutely horrible. Horrible. So you can't tell me. I don't know if it's an agenda. I have no idea. But it is. I don't even know what to say. It's been grossly obvious how bad the WNBA refs have been. Anytime you see a good officiated game and you're like, wow, about time they had a good game and some good refs. That's the anomaly. That's how bad the refs have been. Whenever they refs call a good game, you're surprised. I would agree, but the reason why Wheeler is not going to go anywhere is because the Wheeler has the tenure, and from what I've read, Christie Sides is very fond of Erica Wheeler. So that's the politics of the game. That's the stuff that I say when I say play the game. It's not fair, and the only person that's going to change that is Lynn Dunn or the owner of the Fever. Yeah, we'll see. SC, that's my biggest gripe with Sides, her lack of adjustments, and her substitutions are not good in my opinion. Sometimes like her lineups are, yeah. And let's not forget, man, Sides really didn't have head coaching experience before she got this gig. So, but then again, neither did Nick Sirianni, and he went to the Super Bowl. So, it happens sometimes. Yeah, that is the one thing that is consistent. Bad refs, bro. You are correct. Did y'all see Shannon Sharpe's comments on Skylar Diggins Smith? They kept running it back, saying when she sped up the pusher. I ain't have too much of a problem with it. It is what it is. It's that's small potatoes in the big scheme of things. It'd be different if she ran up to her and checked her like Kennedy Carter did. And not for nothing, man, Kennedy Carter. Ever since that incident, Kennedy Carter's been basically keeping her nose clean. And it is my opinion that if Kennedy Carter had not done that to Caitlin Clark, she would have been an all-star. Easily. Because it is my opinion that Angel Reese is not the best player on Chicago. It's Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter is fast, if not faster than Kelsey Mitchell. I think she's got a little bit better handles than Kelsey because Kelsey sometimes, I think Kelsey is quicker, but I think Kennedy might have better handles because sometimes it seems like Kelsey moves so quick that she gets herself out of control. Kennedy Carter can hit the mid-range. She can shake you. And did you see her get up and get that block the other day? Kennedy Carter can leap. She got hops. So she can block shots against people that are a little bit taller than her, 3 and 4 inches taller than her. So she got game. And ever since that incident, ever since the situation with Caitlin Clark, she ain't really said much. She's been keeping her nose clean and she been balling. And she should have been an all-star. Easily. But that, her reputation precedes her. So Mark, I agree. Carter plays like Iverson. Or somebody said I was talking about Carter before, and they said that her biggest comp is Kyrie. And I was like, I can see that. Because she can shake you. She will break your ankles. And she's fast and she can cut quick. All of that stuff. She has got a phenomenal game. So, it's all of the other stuff that she got to clean up. But again, credit to her. After that incident, she may have said some questionable stuff for the reporters and all that kind of stuff. But to me, that don't mean nothing. It's all about what you do on the court, period. Because I look at it like this. When you do stuff like that, because the one thing I did say after that, yes, it was Bush League, it was a cheap shot, all of that kind of stuff. But she cost herself a lot of money. That's how I see it. She cost herself a lot of money. Anybody that maybe even thought about endorsing her or getting some type of deal done for a product, whatever it was. That stuff is out the door because don't nobody want to deal with that. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. So not for nothing else, she costs herself money. So yeah, she is. I don't think she has a problem with that. I think she's in the perfect situation being in Chicago with Teresa Weatherspoon. Teresa Weatherspoon is the perfect coach for Kennedy Carter, and it is paying dividends because don't forget, at the beginning of the year for the first 10 games, Kennedy Carter was coming off the bench, averaging 16 points off the bench. And then finally, Teresa Weatherspoon started her, and she's, again, immediately it was paying dividends. So Kennedy Carter was putting work in and giving people the business. And I don't think they figured out what they want to do with Angel Reese and Cardoso yet. Because Cardoso can run. Cardoso can run the court. For somebody her size, she's not quite as fast or as graceful as Fact Bentley, but Cardoso can get up and down that court pretty quick for her size. So, and like I said, Angel Reese just plain out hustles everybody under the rim, period. You can say she puts up her own shots, and I'm like, I'll throw that shit out. If the girl getting 20 rebounds, I don't give a damn how she got them. If it counts in the stat book, she got them. I don't care how she got them. Somebody else can't get them. That's how I see it. Didn't Wheeler have 7 minutes last game or something like that? Hold on. Let me see. I got the box score up right here. Wheeler had 9 minutes. Yep. Kev, what's going on, my guy? SC, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Kathy Engelbert is doing a pretty decent job. It's just some things that got away from her, and it is what it is. Because there's also, you got to remember, there's also things going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. There's a lot of things that we think that she should be doing that the league just doesn't have money to do. But she got to take the brunt of that. So for the most part, for me, every time I've seen Kathy Engelbert on a show, in an interview, she is all about business. And I like what she's done. Yes, she's made mistakes, but you in a transition period. They going through growing pains. The NBA did the same thing. Stern went through growing pains. Stern made mistakes. Adam Silver made mistakes. The best thing Christie Sides, the best thing Kathy Engelbert did was let Adam Silver negotiate the deal for the media rights. That's the best thing she did because everybody's going to eat off of that. At least she was smart enough to know with Caitlin Clark coming and the wave of enthusiasm and fandom that was coming with her, and Adam Silver having the leverage to get the best deal for the WNBA. Kathy Engelbert was just like, yeah, I'm gonna sit in row 2 and watch you work. That was the smartest thing she could do. The smartest thing she could do. If you find yourself the smartest person in the room, find a new room. She was smart enough to let Adam Silver, with his experience, his connections, you make that deal. And it pays dividends. So Kathy Engelbert has basically set the WNBA up to be self-sufficient for the next 10 years, at least. And barring any catastrophic injury to Caitlin Clark or anything like that, you look at the next 5 years for the WNBA. I can name you women coming out of the NCAA that I'm looking forward to watching for the next 5 years. Coming out this year, you got Kate Beckers, you got Lauren Betts, you got Kiki Ariafen. I'm really excited to see Kiki because Kiki can dunk. And that's the last piece of the puzzle that they're missing. There's 2 females coming out that are dunking right now. Kiki can dunk, and there's a freshman at Duke. Her name is Toby Fournier. She can dunk. So hopefully that will be the last piece of the pie. Brittany Griner can't dunk no more. Her knees won't let her do it. But some of these young women are dunking with ease, and they're throwing it down with authority. They shaking the rim. They before it was they barely got their hand over the rim, and they got the dunk, and everybody went nuts because they never saw it before. Now these girls are going up and boom, and some of them are dunking with 2 hands. Don't get it twisted. That's the last thing the WNBA needs. If they get a girl up there now that can dunk, school is out. It's a wrap. If they get somebody in there in the next, if Kiki comes in next year from, I think she's still going to SC, she'll get drafted probably the first round. All they need is 1 dunk in a game. That's it. I don't know if, what's the other girl that can dunk? Ashley Watkins from South Carolina. Ashley Watkins is like, she reminds me of Melissa Smith. She's that type of player. She can jump super high. She doesn't have a good jumper, but she can hit the mid-range shots around the rim, the 6 to 10 foot jumpers, and she can get rebounds. But she can dunk. Legit dunk. And if she can bring that vertical game, she on a good squad, they're going to be good again next year, South Carolina. So all eyes are going to be on her, so she'll have an opportunity to show and prove. So we'll see. But that's the last piece of the puzzle that the WNBA needs, and they got it coming. And I want to see how it's going to manifest in the league, because when that happens, the roof is going to go off. The roof will be blown off of it, and it'll be here to stay. So can you imagine how marketable some of these women will be if they can dunk? Juju's going to be the number 1. Kate Beckers is going to be the person next year. If Kate Becker stays healthy and UConn makes a good NCAA run, Kate Beckers, in my opinion, is going to be the number 1 pick next year. Maybe Flau'jae. A lot of people forget about Flau'jae and Raven in LSU. So we'll see. Dominique Malonga, absolutely. Absolutely. Hannah Hidalgo from Notre Dame. She was a freshman last year, but she'll be coming out when Juju comes out. When Juju Watkins comes out, that class is going to be lit. That class is going to be lit. Nah, Stafford, she is an anomaly. What's the girl's name? What's the girl's name on ESPN that everybody hates now? L. Duncan. L. Duncan said this. She was on, I think she was on Bomani Jones' show. And this was back when, they're attacking Caitlin Clark and this, that, and the other. That's when that was still going on. But what she said, we don't pick who the audience likes. She said ESPN has a division dedicated to figuring out what the audience likes to watch. And they go off of that information. So her point was, we don't decide who the audience wants to follow. The audience does that, and we just go along for the ride. And to that end, when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese happened in 2023, when LSU won the title, that was the perfect recipe. Caitlin Clark was already on the ascension. LSU was LSU. Kim Mulkey was always in the news. She was going through all of the stuff and was suing folks and reporters and all of that kind of stuff. So LSU was already in the news. Caitlin Clark was already doing her thing. Everybody was waiting for her to break the record. But when her and Angel Reese got together in that final game, that blew the lid off of everything. Because that year and the year after, especially in 2023, the NCAA women's game was better than the men's, and the broadcast results showed it. Hey, did I say Kate Beckers again? I always do that. Paige Beckers. I always make that mistake. Paige, and that's Paige with an I. Man, Chris, I'm telling you, dude, when that happens, and it's coming. You got several women that can get up and dunk consistently and with ease. It's not like they got to back up to half court, get a running start, don't dribble the ball. These girls are coming off the dribble and going up and yanking it. So it's coming. It's coming. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And plus, the way these girls train now, it's only a matter of time, man. So, but yeah, it's getting better. I want to see Indiana keep it up. I want to see Christie Sides change up a little bit. She's gotten better at the lineups and what she's doing. And let's see if they can keep this momentum going. That's what I want to see. So they're in a good spot. Let's look at the schedule coming up. And when's the next game? Let me see. Yeah, she got bigger, and then having a year off in the jail didn't help. So tomorrow you got LA and Connecticut. LA is probably going to get drugged. You got Dallas and New York. Dallas is probably going to get drugged. As good as Arike Ogunbowale is, Dallas with only 6 wins, man. Seattle's at Washington. I feel bad for Washington because I like Aaliyah Edwards. She's good, and she's getting buried with a bad team. They got to get rid of Thibodeau. Yeah, and that's it. Then you got Wednesday game. So tomorrow you got LA, Connecticut, Dallas, New York, Seattle's at Washington. So yeah, that's gonna be 3 blowouts. Yeah, I'll watch the New York game because I want to see Arike and Sabrina. Because Sabrina is one of my favorite players. But Arike, she's one of my favorite players. But Dallas, she be scoring all the points. But Arike reminds me of what Kelsey Mitchell was last year. And she needs another player that can feed her, that can make the engine go. Because as good as Kelsey Mitchell was, Kelsey Mitchell came out in 2019. And I went back and looked. No playoff runs. Even though you're talking about now, Kelsey Mitchell is what, 3rd in NCAA history, 3rd or 4th in NCAA history. Caitlin Clark had to pass Kelsey Mitchell to get the record. That's how good Kelsey Mitchell is. And now you got 2 of the top scorers in NCAA history on the same team. It takes 2 sometimes. One can't do it. That's why I'm like, you got to be careful. If Caitlin Clark talking or if Kelsey Mitchell talking about leaving, who's going to replace that production? You can't just say, hey, we want this person or that person. Can that person put up 24 points a game? Or 20? What's let me see. I want to see what Kelsey Mitchell is. Hold on there. Let me see. Let's see what Kelsey Mitchell is. Scores. Sunday. Fever. Box scores. So you're looking at Kelsey Mitchell, 17 points a game, almost 18 points a game, 2.3 rebounds, 1.9 assists. Who's scoring 18 points a game? Who's going to do that? And whoever you bring in gotta produce like that, or it's a failed experiment. So you gotta be able to match what you're losing. A lot of people get caught up in this player. I don't like that player. Let's just trade them. Like, nah, you can't just trade people. I always had that argument with people about the NFLs. Like, if you get rid of a good player, I don't like as much as I hate the Cowboys, what the Cowboys gonna do if they get rid of Dak? Because you got to bring somebody. It's not like Dak is garbage. So you got to bring somebody in that's going to throw for 4,000 yards a season. You got to bring somebody in that's going to score 17, 18 points average for the season. Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that? That's the question you got to ask. It's not about getting somebody to come in and replace her. You got to bring a stud in there that can ball. You got to complement the pieces. It takes two. Absolutely. Clark is not a free agent. Clark is under contract. Yeah, man. That's it. What's up, Professor? You got to be able to replace that production, man. That's what it comes down to in a nutshell. Or you're always going to be swimming upstream. In my opinion, is Indiana where they are if Kelsey Mitchell is not on the team? I don't think they are. Look at all of the games that Kelsey Mitchell showed up. When Caitlin Clark was 2 for 10 from 3. Those games I'm talking about, because somebody else has to be the number one option. If you're not hitting your shots, somebody else has got to be the option. That's the problem in Dallas right now. You look at New York. Sabrina goes to work. If Sabrina's shots aren't falling, you got Jonquel Jones down low. You got Stewie that can always make it happen. You look at Phoenix. Diana Taurasi, love her or hate her. She gets hot every now and then. But until that happens, kick it out to Kalia Copper. Get it in the middle to Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner still 6'9". And can't nobody stop that little baby hook that she got because she's 6'9". AB is the same way, but it seems like people can, to me, when AB gets the ball, she's not a slam dunk yet. Every time Asia Wilson gets the ball, I know she's going to score. Every time Brittany Griner gets the ball, more times than not, I know she's going to score. I don't feel that way with Aaliyah Boston yet. Not yet. She's had some great games, but I'm still not, I don't feel like that yet. I appreciate that, Professor, with the super chat. Much love, brother. Always. Absolutely. Because remember, Caitlin Clark should have 3 triple-doubles right now. 3. There's one game they kept stealing the rebounds from her, and it was the other game, could nobody catch her passes. Well, she would have 3 triple-doubles. But, hey, woulda, shoulda, coulda, don't do nothing but rhyme. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. So she's in good competition. She's got the right pieces around her, and everybody is figuring everybody out. And that's how you want it. So, not for nothing, Christie Sides, the way she's going, if she keeps going like this, she might be back next year. And if she can evolve with what she's doing, cool. Then she's earned her right to come back next year. We might want something different. But if she's doing what she's got to do, and she can make those adjustments and those X's and O's and not get out coached, she can win the battle on the chessboard, then she should come back. Because a lot of those games ain't on Christie Sides, because Christie Sides don't set a pick. Christie Sides does not shoot free throws, and she doesn't hit threes. Because ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Christie Sides hasn't missed one bucket in the paint. So it is what it is. Yeah, you can't be a one-player team, man. Not in this day and age. Can't do it. So I'm about to get up out of here, man. Man, it was a good conversation tonight, man. This was lit. Lit. Just a reminder. This week I will be at the Eagles game, part of the alumni down there. This is the alumni weekend. So versus the Vikings, we will get to be on field and all that kind of stuff. And I just found out just recently, that we will be, if you are in South Jersey, I will be at Chicky and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey on Friday, like from 5 to 7 or something like that. So they're having a Eagles alumni kind of homecoming get together at Chicky and Pete's in Marlton. So if you are in the South Jersey area and you close to Marlton, come on down, man. We're going to have a good time. So, but I'm going to get up out of here, man. I will be back tomorrow night. Let me see. The games tomorrow start at 7. So I might do a post game at like 9 like around 9 o'clock. So around the same time. That's where the game should be, at least in the fourth quarter. Talk about what's going on and whatever else is trending. So it'll probably be a mix of Eagles talk and what's going on in the W. So hope to see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate everybody in the chat. This was lit tonight, man. I love it. I appreciate all you guys. Crank that 22. Crank that. Got you. Stafford, my dude, I appreciate you. L Professor, I appreciate the love. Kevin, the PRF, as always. Jar Jar Binks. Who else was in here? Mark, I appreciate you, man. Don't be a stranger. Make sure you subscribe. Click on that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. Christie, as usual, man, coming with the heat. Independent Aquaman. I like that, man. We the Hall of Justice up in here. Did I miss anybody? SC was coming with the heat tonight. Jar Jar Binks, I think I mentioned you already. Everybody, man, this was lit. Sheila McLaughlin. Sheila, if you're still listening, I say this all the time. I'm always looking for female voices in my chat. I grew up, I have a twin sister and an older sister, and if I didn't act as much, they would smack me upside the head. So I'm always looking for female voices. So Sheila, tell your friends about me. Don't be a stranger, and I appreciate you joining me. Anybody else? Did I forget anybody? If I forgot you, S Dub, I appreciate you. JP, I appreciate you. If I miss you, charge it to my head, not my heart. VVS, bringing the heat a little bit. I appreciate you, man. Don't be a stranger. Make sure you subscribe. David Enix, don't be a stranger, bro. You was bringing the heat tonight, man. I appreciate you, brother. So it's all good, man. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Joseph Parks, I see you up there. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the opinions, man. Keep bringing them. Angel Perez, don't be a stranger. I appreciate you. Keep bringing that heat, man. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Cody K, as usual, my guy. Daniel Berry Sports, as usual. Appreciate everybody, man. I'm going to get up on out of here. Have a good night. Enjoy your family. God bless. Be safe. And I will see you tomorrow on the next one. Peace.